Hey guys, I'm going to give it a couple minutes. We'll let people trickle in, hopefully. First, if you're tuning in, thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate it. It's just me on the podcast going forward for the foreseeable future. We'll see if that changes. But again, I really appreciate anyone who's tuning in. I just want to add value, whether that's to inform, inspire, empower. If I even do that for just a few people, I'm going to call it a win. So I hope that this brings value to you. I'm going to give it like a 3 to 4 week trial run. If people are getting value out of the podcast, which is going to pair with the Facebook group, I'm going to have additional resources, information, articles, etc., within the Facebook group as well. So I will link that in the show notes after this episode airs. It's just Level Up with Logic if you want to find me on Facebook. So yeah, I'm gonna honestly go over a myriad of topics over the next few weeks. We're going to talk civics/community involvement, health and wellness, nutrition, mindset, all the things. And again, it's truly just to attempt to inform, inspire, and empower is my main goal. So if you're listening live, feel free to ask questions. I'd love to hear from you guys, but we're going to hop into it and it'll be a quick episode. I'm going to cut these episodes down to just 30 minutes. I don't want to just talk to talk. I want to make sure it's jam-packed with helpful information and, engaging content. So we're going to talk about all or nothing thinking. And the reason I chose this is because it really, when I discovered this and just dug more into it, it truly helped shift my mindset in a positive way to where I was able to tackle habit changes, lifestyle changes, etc., without starting and stopping again and again and again over and over and not remaining consistent for a long period of time. So I'm sure a lot of us have ran into this. I think it's quite common, especially in this day and age. And we'll talk a little bit about why I think it's also impacting our society as a whole negatively. So all or nothing thinking, it's a cognitive distortion, which is essentially an exaggerated or irrational thought pattern. And it's thinking in extremes. So it's thinking things are bad or good, failure or success. Hey, Mikey, instead of using the words and, people are bad and good. You can be successful and failing. So I think if we can start to shift our mindset a little bit to understand that concept, it tends to happen when you've kind of got a good rhythm, you're feeling successful, you have great momentum, and then all of a sudden maybe one day you eat like junk and all you focus on is that failure instead of all the days leading up to that failure where you were successful in eating well or taking care of yourself or pushing towards your goals, whatever it might be. And I think I don't know, it's really hit me. I know personally, I tended to, and who knows, I've been pretty consistent for 5 or 6 months on exercising, but what would happen is I would go gung ho, like just balls to the wall. I'm going to work out 6 days a week for an hour each day. That's the only way to be successful at this. And then of course, life happens. I'm human. I'm flawed. I would not work out and then fall off the wagon. And I was just like, well, what's the point? I'm done. And I would start and stop constantly. Same with eating well. Same with trying to be consistent with planning out my week, which I'm still not great on. So full disclosure, I'm trying to just gradually make improvements. And it's super discouraging. It sucks. And I'm super guilty of it. So, I think if you're going to make lifestyle changes, I believe in gradual changes. I think you'll easily avoid all or nothing thinking that way if you don't put this expectation that like it's all or nothing, like you have to go all out or you suck and it's not working. So, I think if you miss a day or you indulge, don't spiral just because it's a failure. If you miss a benchmark for a goal that you're working for, keep pushing forward. Tomorrow's a new day. You can start over. I think labeling your efforts or habits as failures is just not productive. And how I think this is impacting society, which I find really interesting. And I'm sorry if I'm talking too fast. I talk really fast. I'll try to slow it down. If you notice, if we are so much in all or nothing thinking that people, if you support socialized healthcare, then you're a socialist. Instead of like you support socialized healthcare and you believe in capitalism. It's either or. I think we saw it a lot with obviously people who were against the vaccine mandates. Oh, well, then you don't care about other people's lives. You don't care about all those deaths. Nope, it's not all or nothing. People can be, you can agree with people and you can disagree with people. It doesn't have to be or, you know, if I agree with, let's say, Ben Shapiro, like his analysis on certain topics, I don't agree with some of his social stances. So can I not respect his mind just because, you know, I disagree with him on a few things? I think we need to really entertain the and be open to it. And it really inhibits constructive discourse and opportunities to understand or learn from people who think differently than you. You know, don't go into a box where you believe that you can't vote for a candidate without believing in every single thing they do. You have to prioritize what's most important to you. And it saddens me because we put people in boxes. True, Mikey. Mikey said only the Sith deal in absolutes. And yeah, let's just start encouraging human nature. We're humans, we're flawed, we think differently, we view things differently, and that's great. But also, in addition to showing, you know, our fellow friends, family, Americans, whatever it might be, grace, we need to show ourselves a little bit grace too, and understand that just because we, you know, don't accomplish every single thing on our to-do list, or we don't work out for as many days as we set out to that week, that we're not failing, that we're not wrong, that we're not terrible people. It's human nature. You're going to have setbacks. Life is wildly unpredictable. You're going to get sick, maybe. You're going to get into a funk. Who knows? You might have some really disappointing life events happen where it interrupts your entire vibe and your momentum. But, you know, take that break that you need, but don't consider it a failure. Don't throw all the previous progress out the window. And I think whenever you're making changes, what's really helped me is just being gradual. So, you know, if you want to start exercising, start with 10 minutes a day. Just say, I'm going to go walk for 10 minutes a day. You know, that's something. Or I'm going to do yoga for 10 minutes a day. You know, when I first started exercising about 5 or 6 months ago, there were days I did not want to get up because I try to get out of bed to do it in the morning. And I was like, okay, just go walk on the treadmill for 15 minutes. And really chunking it down instead of having this expectation that I have to go do this intense 45-minute, like high intensity workout, I wouldn't have gotten out of bed. But I firmly believe something is better than nothing. And I think we need to, you know, when you think about all or nothing thinking, engage with something. Something is something. And, you know, okay, maybe you ate crappy yesterday, but you know what? You ate really well for 4 days leading up to that. That's something. If you want to start eating well, just start thinking about, okay, I'm going to try to eat vegetables with breakfast. It's a start. Start small, chunk it down. I don't know how many are like me, but it's, you know, all these drastic changes. I think I'm going to wake up tomorrow and be a totally different person and change all these habits overnight and my mindset overnight. And that's not how it works at all. So being patient with yourself. But I also think recognizing all or nothing thinking is really the first step. So if you start to fall into that, just try to put a pause and maybe ask yourself, okay, well, what's my third option? If I didn't work out yesterday or I didn't work out all week because I was sick, am I a failure? Or what's my third option? Maybe it's just it was an off week and you don't make it more than that. I think, again, making sure to focus on those days that you actually did it or those wins that you did have. And, you know, as we go through life, and I think more and more of us are seeing this divide in our country and just the polarization, engaging in that middle ground. And you might learn something from someone. Maybe you disagree with almost everything politically from a political ideology standpoint, but you can agree on just a few things in the middle. Again, it doesn't have to be all or nothing. I guarantee you pretty much everyone you encounter, you could learn something from if you were open to it. And if if we didn't have such a tendency to disregard people, and I'm guilty of it too, trust me, I am innately flawed. and I'll admit it till the cows come home. But I'm working on it, and that's something. And, I think if you're truly putting an effort either to show people more grace, show yourself more grace, get fit, try to eat better. I mean, there's a lot to say for the effort, for the intention. Obviously, it doesn't stop there, because I'd love to have $1 million, but that intention isn't going to get me $1 million. It still takes action. But just take that first step. Take what you can stomach. It might only be like a 5-minute walk. It might only be, okay, I'm going to eat like half of a dessert instead of, I'm going to cut out all sugar tomorrow. Because that was another thing, is sugar is my downfall completely from the nutrition standpoint. And I had to understand that as many times as I tried this so many times, like, okay, I'm going to just eat super clean and not touch any sugar anymore starting tomorrow. And inevitably I would fall off the wagon. And so I've noticed that consistency compounds into real progress. And so small changes will go a long way. If you spend a couple weeks eating less junk, maybe you don't eat out, maybe you eat out like one less time a week, whatever it might be. You understand what I'm saying, I think. But good for you, Mikey. Mikey said you stopped drinking pop 2 weeks ago. That's awesome. That's awesome. And, God forbid you have another pop. It's not the end of the world. That doesn't negate all the progress you've had up to that point. So start with small goals. And I believe those small goals will lead to pretty drastic lifestyle changes. You'll look back a year from now and be like, holy crap, like I feel better. I look better. And I'm just proud of myself for doing everything I have. And I do have a worksheet that can help with all or nothing thinking that I will put on the Facebook page. And Michelle, I hear you. Sugar is hard. Sugar is so hard. I'm still failing at it, to be honest. I'm exercising consistently. I have not been great this week about not eating sugar. So I have to if I find a secret approach or process to cut out sugar, I will definitely let you know. But for now, I am flawed. But I did eat more vegetables today. I ate fairly well overall, just had too many treats. I have to make those smaller. Yep. Yeah, exactly, Michelle. There you go, Mikey. And then eventually you can like dilute the apple juice. Yeah, it's, I firmly believe in gradual changes. So just remember that, again, if you had a whole day of eating clean and then the next day, God forbid, the day's crazy and you eat or you slip up, it's okay. Just start again tomorrow. Yeah, and also busyness really makes it difficult to stick to whatever goals or intentions you have. I think what helps me, I try to meditate. And so if I feel like I'm really just struggling, like today, I felt like my mind was all over the place and I didn't actually get anything accomplished. Just trying to start the day with intentions, even if you just take a few minutes, even if it's in the shower, okay, today I'm going to focus on being more intentional with my time, being more purposeful with my time. Or I'm going to, when I want to drink a soda, I'm going to get up and walk around. It's so hard because from my understanding, cravings only last like 10 minutes realistically. So if you can distract yourself, which is so much easier said than done, trust me, I know. It's worked for me here and there. I just try to go do a different task, or maybe I, go do laundry, go for a walk, start reading a book. Yeah, fast food will happen. I mean, I am not one of those people who eats completely and totally clean. I have 2 kids under 5. I work full time. We just got a puppy a few months ago. Like I've embraced the fact that I'm human. I 100% admire the folks who have the self-discipline to just drastically change their lifestyle overnight. I don't think it's the norm though. I think that's the exception. And I'm getting better about showing myself grace. I'm trying. I really like a clean house. I've had to accept that my house will not be totally picked up and organized and clean. It just won't. It just won't. But what I can do is try to set aside 20 minutes a day to pick up or clean. And then I at least know I'm doing something. It's what can work right now. So yeah, maybe you can, if you notice that there's something that you were doing that fills your cup, start doing it, even if it's in small doses. And again, it doesn't have to be, you can do it every day. Maybe that's not realistic. Maybe it's once a week. More time I spend on TikTok, the more I eat like crap. Yeah, Mikey. Scrolling social media is tricky. They do have the feature on the iPhone where you can limit your screen time. And maybe you gradually just start to decrease it. And I have weeks that are better than others, but it sucks you in. And truly, like realistically, if I get off scrolling TikTok for like an hour, I don't feel better than I did when I started. So I have to kind of remind myself of that. I feel better when I'm like plugged into my real life. I think it's great every now and then to unplug and just unwind if you want, but in doses, because there's a real life that you could be doing. You could be, whether it's expanding your knowledge base by reading or exercising or being present and working on, your relationships, making memories. So important. So that's a really good reminder, Mikey. I appreciate that. But I kind of covered everything I wanted to. These podcasts are going to be pretty short and sweet. Again, I don't want to drag it out just to drag it out. I want it to be of value to you guys. I'm going to put some resources on the Level Up with Logic Facebook page. You can find the link in my TikTok, just Logic and Liberty in my bio. And it'll take you right there so you can join. And again, I will post, there's a worksheet that can kind of just help you if you get really stuck in all or nothing thinking. And I'll announce the topic for next week. I haven't nailed it down quite yet, but I'll announce it on TikTok probably tomorrow or Friday, and then I'll post that video here on this channel. But please do subscribe. I really appreciate it. You can share it with friends. It's going to be short and sweet. I will start having guests again, I think later in the month. But again, we're going to give it kind of like a 4 to 6 week trial run and see if you guys find value in it. I just want to bring value to you guys, and I just want to help people. That's genuinely my intent for this podcast. So it means the world that you guys tuned in. I really, really appreciate it. Mikey, thank you. And I get it, Mikey. That makes sense to commit your TikTok time to your wife. That's important. But I hope you guys have a great evening. This will be posted on the channel, I think immediately after. I don't know how long it takes, maybe a couple hours, but you can catch the replay and stay tuned for more episodes. If you guys ever have any topic ideas, go ahead and email those to me just at brace4impactpodcast@yahoo.com. And I'll check those out. And I've got a pretty strong list of topics that I want to pick from. And to blow up the thumb, I don't know what that is. But yeah, I appreciate it, guys. Thank you. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we will catch you guys next time.